What's your biggest challenge that is holding you back from going from where you are to where you want to be as a mental performance coach? Well, I've found after interviewing, did 63 interviews with people who want to really up their mental performance game. And I find that the biggest challenge mental performance coaches face in reaching their own goals is their own mental performance. The very thing that we want to help athletes, coaches, and teams overcome is the very thing that stops us from developing the business or program of our dreams. And in this video, I'm going to share a simple but powerful model that can help you close that gap so that you can be who you want to be and do what you want to do as a mental performance coach. And that's what I call playing big. Well, why would you want to listen to me? I'm Dr. Tom Hansen, and I run the Play Big Academy here in Tampa, Florida. I have a PhD in sports psychology from the University of Virginia. I wrote Heads Up Baseball with Dr. Ken Rizza back in 1993. It's pretty widely read and influential book in the field of sports psychology, not even just in baseball. We followed that up in 2018 with Heads Up Baseball 2.0. My favorite book that I've written is called Play Big, and it's a fictional story of a guy, a player learning the mental game over the course of a game and a half. And then Who Will Do What by When is a business fable that talks about creating a culture of commitment in a business or any organization, sports organization. Could be anything. From an applied side, I've done a lot of different things, worked with a lot of different teams. The best known one would be the New York Yankees. Back in 2001, I was full-time head of performance enhancement for the Yankees. Well, until I got fired by George Steinbrenner later that year, but that be a topic in another video. So the power of a model. So, okay, great. I'm going to give you a model. What's the big deal about that? How could that be so helpful? Couldn't you just give me step one, step two, step three? Well, a model is like a map. So if I was in Centralia and I wanted to get over to Riverside Heights, if I don't have a map, I'm not really sure which direction to go, how to do this. But if I do have a map, I get a sense, oh, I'm here. Okay, I need to do this and this and this to get over to where I want to go. If I was over here, I would need to go south. So that there's flexibility in the map that what depends on where you are and where you want to go. But there's a map of lays out the territory. And it's the same with this model. Not having a map, not having a model can really hold you back. As a mental performance coach, I'm really into it. My master's degree is at the University of Illinois. Dan Gould, Dr. Dan Gould is my professor, really big into having a conceptual model, and it's paid off for me tremendously. The model I'm going to give you here consists of two worlds in three dimensions, and it comes from the science of axiology, the science of value. I really recommend you dig deep on this. It's very deep, but let's get you your model here. So there's an inner world, which is you're thinking about things inside of you. You're thinking about you. And the outer world is you're thinking about things outside of you. And in this video, I'm going to walk through these three dimensions of the outer world just to keep things concise, give you something to do so that you can get into action and put this map into play. So the three dimensions of the outer world. The first dimension is the system or the blueprint. I have a performance pyramid framework, just like you might know John Wooden's has a pyramid, and each little box in there is a thing. And so you'd know where you are based on topic. You can find your way around. It's like a map. So you want to have a blueprint, a master plan of how you see things, how you see the mental game, what's important. And I'll come back to that. I want to get all the dimensions cards on the table here. So the tools is the second dimension. That actually, what do you actually do? Great to have a plan. That's like having a book. Like a book is like, oh, here's a blueprint. Here's what to do. Okay, great. What then? What are the actual tools that you're going to use? And not only that, it's developing skill in using them. So this is what you're actually doing. And so you've got a plan, and okay, I'm executing the plan. Well, what else is there? Well, the biggest thing of all is actually the relationship, the beingness, a heart level connection and trust. So yes, great to have a plan. Great to be able to lead someone through imagery or, goal setting, or tapping is a big, one of my favorite tools. But the biggie is your heart. I've got a picture here of Ken Rizza, and got to spend a lot of time with him writing the two books and certainly a lot of other things. And what I can tell you, his secret sauce, why he was so revered, why he was so certainly popular and certainly so effective, was in this third dimension, the relationship. It's the relationship. You study, you take courses on counseling, say, and they say, hey, which counseling model or steps are the best? What what should I do? Which which system is the best system? Well, you know what the best system, what explains the most variance? The relationship between the client and the counselor in that case. And it's the same here. Ken cared so deeply about the people he was working with that they got better. He could have said a lot of different things. I would listen to him on the phone. I'm like, really? That's what you do with these guys? Yeah. I mean, it was pretty 101 to me, at least. But that really wasn't the biggest thing. It wasn't the content, it was the context. The relationship is the context. So I'll hammer this a little bit more, a few different ways. So, simplified model: heart, hands, and head. The heart is the caring, the relationship. The greatest of these is love. Here's this. So, I've got a heart here, and that's the biggest one. It's like, well, I don't know what to do with an athlete. Okay, well, if you didn't have a hands or a head, but if you had the heart and you just care deeply, you're going to do well. You're going to help the person. It's better, don't get me wrong, if you know what you're doing. If you have the mechanics and what you actually execute. I have my ABCs as a model that I teach at my academy. Um, and tapping, I mentioned as a tool. It's really, if you said, what's my most powerful tools? I'd probably say those two. The ABCs, people love it. Tapping is enormously. So you want to get good at that. And then your head, the blueprint, the overall system. I've mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned, I have a pyramid that's the Play Big performance pyramid that's got boxes in it too of what I think is most important. So let's pull it together. What's the application here to you? Well, thinking, well, first off, what do I care about? What do I care about deeply? Spend a few minutes journaling on that. What do I care about deeply? Why do I even want to go in this field? Remembering why you want to do. I mean, it's famous stuff in the business world, at least. Start with why. It's like, why do I want to do this? When you have a cause, when you have your heart in it, now that's going to fuel everything. You don't need discipline if anywhere near. It shouldn't be all discipline. Because I just love it. I was talking with a guy last night in my coaching program. Tony, that's just like he loves the people. I can just see he loves the people he's working with. So it's just not like, oh, I got to be disciplined about working with them because that's there. So tune into that. And the more you can stay tuned into that, have a morning practice. I call it Wake Up and Win, that you connect with that. And now I'm going to go and take action. I might make a blueprint. I might make a plan and then actually practice the skills I'm going to do. Yes, but it's fueled by the heart. So these are in proportion. It's important to do things. An idea that map isn't territory. The map really, if it lets you do something, it doesn't matter because you know where you're going. So you get it. So you normally think, well, the head part is the most important. So application to you, spend some time. Hey, what do I think is important? Makes me think of Pete Carroll. A lot of his success came after he'd been fired a few times. He had a year or two to sit and reflect, like, what's my coaching philosophy? What is important to me? Take some time, write that out for yourself. Hands, and practice, gain skills. I've got a bunch of certifications in different tools. Get good at using these different tools and keep adding them on. And then finally, stay connected at the heart. So that's the application I see to you on how this model coming from axiology can help you close that gap and turn your passion into a profession. So hopefully this helps you see how to close the gap between where you are and where you'd love to have, what you'd love to have happen as a mental performance coach. The last kind of warning or thing I want to leave you with is information does not equal transformation. I'll give you some information. Okay, great. If you don't do anything with it, it's like giving you a map. If you don't then dig in and take action, it doesn't really matter that much. If you're interested in going from where you are, taking the shortest, fastest route and making a transformation into being where you want to be, I have a certification course, a Play Big mental performance coaching certification system. And there'll be a link down in the description below. If you're interested, click there. We can set up a time to talk it over. Because let's get you out there playing big.